Morning folks, how you all doing? Welcome to North Knives and part 5 of my kitchen axe build. Today I'm going to be working on the scales and working towards getting the scales fitted up to the knife. So the knife's, the blade itself is pretty much finished. I need some finishing touches, but it's pretty much there. And these are the scales. I'll take you in for a closer look. So I've already started sanding this side. This side's still straight off the bandsaw. As you can see, this one's coming up lovely. There's still a little bit of pitting and stuff. We've got a little bit of a way to go, but nearly done. And this one's not even started, so you can see all the bandsaw lines. So I've just got my granite surface plate, and this is an 80 grit piece of sandpaper, and it's automotive sandpaper. Yeah, so definitely recommend getting some high quality sandpaper for this. The first times I tried it, I tried with like just some sandpaper from my local hardware shop for like decorators and stuff, and it was awful. It took so long, and the paper rips and all sorts. This stuff's really good. This is a really old piece as well, actually, so I'll get them nearly there. I might get a fresh piece to get them completely flat. So let's get started on this one. Get it looking pretty much like that one. Okay, you can see we're looking good there. Both sides looking good. So next step, checking for flatness for me, is I've just done a load of lines. I've heard them called witness marks, but I'm not sure what they're called. But yeah, basically I'll do that to both sides, and now start sanding them again and just check that material's been removed evenly from everywhere, and you'll see the pencil marks disappearing. And then I'll move on to checking flatness various other ways. Okay, so they weren't actually coming that flat, so I've switched to a fresh 60 grit. Because it's fresh, it is leaving quite a lot of marks, so I might go up a grit before I finish. But anyway, the first check is sort of like a visual check. Well, they're all visual, but this one you don't need anything. Anyway, it doesn't particularly matter that they're not parallel to each other. That's not what I'm checking for. I'm checking that this is flat, and I can see, hopefully it's coming up in the camera, this edge's looking pretty good. This corner is rolled, so that's what I'm trying to get rid of at the moment. But it's just one tiny bit of corner that's rolled, but I have to remove all of that, so yeah, it's a little bit slow going. Okay, so a couple of ways you can check for flatness. One, light source behind you, and I've just got my machinist set square, and I'll go all the way up and down, and that way too. Now we've still got a slight roll in this corner, and I was hoping to be able to show you. Anyway, it's really obvious in real life. It's not coming up too well on the camera, but basically I can in real life tell. You can see the light coming through, and it's almost like you could draw a line, and I will actually, I'll do it when I'm looking at it, but I'll draw a line, and just to know I missed that bit, because it'll save me loads of work and I don't have to use that corner anyway. I probably won't use that corner, but just I'll mark it so I know. The other way is on the surface plate, lay it flat, make sure there's no dust around on it, and a visual check with the light this side. Okay, super happy with how they're looking. I wasn't happy with the 60 grit scratches. This wood appears to be quite soft, and it was a brand new fresh 60 sandpaper, so I've gone to 120 there. And just a little tip, this is some dust I've saved from a previous knife. Don't need that anymore, so I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to save this dust, and hopefully I won't need it, but I might, so better to have it and not need it. I'm pretty much ready to drill my holes. That's just tape so you can't see the engraving and see who it's for. I've marked my roll. Happy everywhere else is flat, so I just need to make sure I miss that basically. Before I drill any holes, I'm going to make my pins, well, cut down my pins. So I just need to remind myself which ones are actually the pins in this jumble of Swiss cheese. So we've got 2 small ones, a large one, another 2, wait, 1, 2, another 1 small one, 3 small ones, and then that's going to be the lanyard. So 3 small, 1 large, 1 lanyard. Okay. So I've literally just laid the scales with the knife sandwiched in and on a flat surface. I'm just going to mark slightly oversized, then I'll measure that and get 3 of them cut. So there's my 5 pins, got nasty sharp edges, so I'm going to chamfer all the edges on the grinder now. So just a little test fit with all the pieces on the appropriate holes, and luckily I did, because this one didn't fit, and you can get that just from the heat treatment. Bits of carbon or whatever can build up in the hole, so quick run through the drill press at 6.1mm again, and perfect fit, so all good. Okay, so I've got those holes drilled. On this side I've just drawn around the knife as well in its final position. So there we go. Now I need to be careful now when I position this knife on this side. You can drill through both sides of the scales at the same time, but I found I get a bit more precision with this. But yeah, this is the important step. I need to line up this knife in the exact same position it is there, which can be a little bit fiddly, but it's worth spending some time here getting this right, and it would have been worth spending a bit much more time before I drilled the other holes, because I wasn't meant to drill that one, I was meant to drill that one. So I've marked the ones that I need to drill on this side to avoid any more mistakes. I think it's still going to look good, but not quite as good as it would have looked, but oh well. Now lining this knife up has been a lot more difficult than other knives I've done actually. So I've lined that side up, got it all looking right, and then go to the other side and it's not, so Yeah, I'm gonna spend a few more minutes getting completely happy and then clamp it down. Holes drilled on both sides. Got the knife sandwiched in for a bit of a test fit. And as you can see, the blocks of wood are almost perfectly square to each other. A little bit out, but basically very good. I get a really nice book matched look when we're done. So I got a nice thick black line around the outside, and I'm going to sandwich these two blocks together. Sometimes I do it separately, but just put these two blocks together with the pins and go to the bandsaw and cut it out. All cut out on the bandsaw now. Roughly, I've stayed outside the line, so there's still room for manoeuvre everywhere. And now I need to decide what I'm doing up there, which I think I'm gonna copy this bottom bit roughly. Lovely, so this is roughly what we're going for at the top. Okay, so looking real nice. Got the look I'm going for. That was all on the belt sander. So now I'm gonna go and start hand sanding. Okay, so I've finished ground the knife, so it's all finished, and it's not perfect, but it's a constant battle, and I tested my ability to get that C ground right. I wanted to leave that those grind lines are going like horizontal, and these other grind lines are going vertical, and I like that contrast. But it was a constant battle between them both. I'll just turn that over so you can see. Okay, so also I've just took the knife and drawn around. I'm going to drill some holes in here, making sure to stay well within the lines. And I've just drawn where that goes, because I'm going to key up the tang, and I'm going to make sure I don't go over that line as well. So yeah, key up the tang. I've got pins here. I'll key up the pins, which is just putting like scuff marks in really with sandpaper. Then drill some holes, which are just pockets for the epoxy to form in the glue and help the bond to the tang. Then I'll put these back on the surface plate, just give them a light rub to take off any bits from where I've drilled, and make sure it's all nice and flat. And then I have cleaned everything up, but I'll final clean up with acetone or rubbing alcohol, and then I'll be ready to glue up. Everything clean, everything nice, ready for the glue up. So this is how the knife turned out after the glue up, and it's a week later. So I think I glued it up on Thursday last week, and then once it was setting up with the clamps on, I decided to play around with some new chisels. I want some little woodworking chisels, and they're all quite small and cute, and I take all my knife making really seriously. Obviously there's a lot of dangerous stuff, but I just wasn't thinking. I tried out everyone, having a little cut and seeing how they cut. Basically went right into my left hand with a chisel. So I ended up in A&E. There was a lot of blood at first, and I wrapped it all up, and then my finger started going numb. So I thought I'd better go and get it checked out. They cleaned it all. They were really great, actually. I was seen by like 5 or 6 different people. They were happy. I hadn't hit any tendons, and basically just gave me like the butterfly stitches. They ummed and ahed about stitching it or gluing it first. But yeah, I'll just pull down the glove so you can see. I'm not meant to use it for 2 weeks. It's a week later, obviously, but today I'm feeling pretty good. I've got it out the bandages. So that's what I did. I was holding the wood, and I went right into my hand with the chisel. But luckily it was a nice clean cut. They cleaned it all out. I got tetanus jab, and yeah, today I can actually use my hand quite well. It still hurts a bit if I straighten this finger or bend it too far, but happy that it's on the mend. So I'm probably only going to do an hour or something, see how my hand is, but I'm not really happy with the handle. I'm completely happy with the glue up. It's the wood. I've never had such huge discoloration on the wood after a glue up, and also this bit that's already finished has got discoloration too, so I'm not very happy that this will look good in like a year after being used in a kitchen. So I'm sure it's going to look really good when I finish it, but I don't know about the longevity. It's quite a soft wood. I think it needs to be stabilised to be used for a kitchen knife. So basically I'm going to shape the handle, try out a few things a bit differently than I usually do, see how it looks, and then I'm probably gonna rehandle it, but we'll see how happy I am. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Don't do stupid things with a chisel. All tools are dangerous in the wrong hands, and don't let yours be the wrong hands. Obviously I take all the power tools really seriously, and yeah, don't be fooled by small innocent looking tools. Yeah, okay, I'll see you in the next one. It might be the final one, but if I rehandle it, definitely won't be the final one. So yeah, thanks for staying with me, and see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.